Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to start the truing of the AT-1 wheel that we just laced up. As you can see, it's nothing's been done to it. It's as wiggly as it was, and we're just going to go through and try to be as in depth as we can on what to do and when to do it. So let's get on with it here. Okay, kind of the first thing we need to do is try to get some of the slack out of this. So what you want to do first is find your valve stem hole right here. What I like to do is put me a little piece of yellow tape or any kind of tape. Just put something there where you can notice where it is. And because that's your reference point. Every time, anything you do, this is your reference point. So starting right there, we're going to rotate this wheel this way, but we're going to run these nipples up until they just feel snug. Now they're going to feel that way because all the weight is on them right now, down here at the bottom like this. Now, really don't pay too much attention to the threads. Some of them, like this one here, I think that you can see that pretty much all the threads are gone here, and these aren't. So well, don't go any further than that right now. Just run them up till they kind of quit, and if some of them run further than that, just run them up until the threads are not visible anymore, because we're probably going to have to loosen some of those. And you can do that with a screwdriver, or you can just do it by hand, just like I'm doing. Okay, I've been all the way around. I've got them run up till they just stop by hand, or I bring them up to where the threads just disappear. Now I'm going to go back around again and see if there's any more that'll loosen or will tighten up. And there again, don't run them up any further than just the threads disappearing. And depending on what you're doing, you may have plenty of threads left on all of them. Try to do your tightening toward the bottom like this, because the weight of the wheel is hanging down, so it'll pull down against the spokes. See, I'm still getting them to run up some more than others. Okay, I've been around a couple of times, and I'm actually still getting some turning here as I come around. So it's kind of self-centering itself. Finish getting around here. I think this will be the last trip. See, not all of them are turning now. Looks like we're good. See, it has very little wobble to it anymore. It's starting to get some rigidity. Now, what I want you to note is up here at the top, I've got a wire here, and you can see the first thing that's happening is I do have a high spot. And what you want to do is pull that high spot down. Now, I just saw this and it's something to take note of. This is where the rim is welded. These are made in a flat piece and then rolled and welded. You're always going to have some up and down, side to side, whatnot, right there, right where the weld is, that you won't be able to get out. The rest of it, most of it, you should be able to get out. Now, I'm waiting. Okay, see it just touched? This is the weld here. So we're starting to touch just about the weld. And I've got my finger on it here. So it's about half of the wheel, if you look at my hand down here. So this half of the wheel right here is high. So what I want to do is pull it down. So I'm going to find out where it just starts, which is right here. And then I'm going to work my way toward me, tightening these ever so slightly. Okay, here's where it started. And I'm going to get my wrench. And I'm going to start tightening these a little bit. Not much. You can always make another trip. This isn't something that happens in an hour. It takes a little time. And I'm just going to give each spoke about a half turn. And then we'll see where it is after that. Some of these are a little looser than others, so I'm giving them a little more turn. Okay, that's about half the wheel right there. Now let's look here. See up right there where the tape is? It's underneath. That's kind of where it starts. And then it stops right there. So where's the tape? The tape is right here. So we've got from here to here. That we need to work and pull it down some more. So just go back in here and just give these a little bit more, another half or so. And you notice we're trying to take most of the up and down movement out before. Hey, get out of here. Cotton picking dog. Trying to take most of the up and down movement out before we work on the side to side. It won't be all of it, but it'll be most of it. Okay, starting right here. Okay, we've moved it quite a bit. But where my finger is, right there. So it's really about the same. It's from, here's my tape, right here. So there to where my finger is here. So that's what I don't want to lose track of that. So I'm gonna pull these down, tighten them up just a little bit more. And you can see why I put the tape on there. It gives me a reference point. I can keep my finger on the area I start at, but after that I need to know where that reference point is, because that's what I'm working toward. And what we're doing is we're pulling the rim up toward the hub. Okay. We've still got some. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to work on our side-to-side movement a little bit. Here's my reference right here. See it? Okay, see it? That's about the closest spot right there. Starts getting wide right here. So at this point, I'm going to start tightening these spokes on this side. Okay? So I'm going to, again, about the same thing, about a half turn. We're trying to pull it this way. Oops, that's not what I need to do. Get this a little closer so I've got a better representation of what I need to do. Okay, it's hitting right there. So if it's hitting there, that means that I need to tighten the other side. And I'm going to tighten those from this side because I'm right-handed, but I'm tightening the other side. So right there is where it begins. So you get on the other side spokes there. Oops, got the wrong side. And you tighten those a little bit. Again, about a half turn. I'm going to have to tighten that a little better. Okay, I've got you mounted down here so you get a little better view, I think. I think you do right there. All right. Now let's see where we're at. I think you can see the gap there. Okay, there we're hitting. So that's where we need to, right about here, we need to start tightening the other side. Let's see if I can get you where you can see here. I'm reaching across here to tighten the other side. We're pulling the rim away from where it was touching the standard over here. Okay, what's rubbing is the top again. I'm trying to get the side a little closer now. You can see that it's a lot closer than it was. Okay, we're starting to get narrower here, so we'll get back on the other side right there and try to pull it away from it. That's not too bad. Now let's go back to the top again. Okay, let's take a look at the top here again. Starting to hit right here. Actually, here's the weld. So it's starting to hit just behind it, right there. So from there to right here. So we've got just about half the wheel still. So move it back up here where I've got my finger, and we're going to tighten these, all of them, as you go along here. Just a little before that, and we're going to go up to the tape. Again, take it easy, no more than a half turn. And there's our tape right there. Just a couple beyond it. Okay, we're in the same spot. Starts just beyond the weld. The weld's right here. So from here to the tape, here's the tape. So the same thing. Let me work this a little bit and I'll get back with you. Okay, we've got most of that out. Okay, we've got some right there. It's kind of a big one from right here to about right there. So that's the other side of the wheel we're working on. So let me try that a little bit. And again, just tighten these. And it may get to the point, oops, I'm loosening. It may get to the point where you have to loosen the other side to be able to pull it. If we don't get it this time, I'll probably have to loosen some of those a little bit so that it will pull it this way. Okay, I've got a little light down here. Maybe it'll help you see a little better. We're back at the bottom and we're looking at the gap. Okay, we're closing up right there. So I've got to pull toward the other way. So pull it up here to where just before it starts, and that's where you start pulling. All the ones on the other side. See, we got it off of it most of the way. Got a little bit there, again at our tape. We're still tightening some of these on the other side. Move my bar in just a little bit. If I can do it without messing things up too much. Never fails. One of these days I'm going to make an adjustable pointer. But right now, this is what I've got. Okay. Since I've kind of been working on the other side, my chair's falling apart here. Since I've been pulling this way mostly, that way, I'm going to take some of the slack out now where it's wide on this side. I'm going to pull over, which is the majority of the wheel actually, it looks like. Okay, starting right there. So I'm going to work on this side for a little while. See, all these spokes are fairly tight at this point. So that's pretty good. Not too much to complain about there. Still got a little up and down movement, so I'm going to work on that. Okay, let's take another look at it here from the underneath. I think you can see that. Pretty good left to right. Now at the top. Pretty good there. Just one little bump right there, and that's the weld. The weld is right there. So as that comes around, you're almost never going to be able to get that out. So you concentrate mostly on the rest of the wheel. So that's pretty darn good, especially for a dirt bike. It doesn't have to be that good. And down there, same thing, very close. Now what we can do there is it's kind of closer right there. That means the other side needs to be tightened a little bit. I think that's good. Now, I'm going to consider that good at this point, and let me show you a couple other things real quick. Now, what I like to do here is, again, find your tape right here, and I'm going to go around and I'm going to check the sound on the spokes. So I'm not hearing any real duds, so that means they're all pretty well tightened the same. So what you need to do is, at this point right here, is to just go around and try to get, again, start at your tape. Just go around and try to get the feel the same. So most of these are pretty tight. I'm not tightening them, I can just feel. Now, a lot of people do this with a torque wrench, and that's okay. I just never have. I just got used to the feel and what the sound like. And I seem to be able to do a better job that way than I can. I bought a torque wrench one time, and I tried it, and it just never really worked for me. I don't have anything against anybody that wants to do it that way. It's probably a better way if you get used to it. But I'm just more used to it this way. Okay. Okay, here we go. Not too shabby. The only thing I see is the weld. Right there. Hey guys, I think that's a wrap on this one. If you didn't see the one where we laced this wheel, go back to the lacing and check that one out. And on this one here, we did all the truing. And if you have any questions on anything, feel free to ask. I think I covered it pretty good. Sometimes you don't, it doesn't show up in the film or on the camera as well. So I've tried to keep up with it where we went up and down and side to side and all that stuff. And if I didn't quite do it, let me know, and I'll answer any questions that you have and try to show you also. So on this, we'll call it a wrap, and I appreciate everybody going along on the ride. And thumbs up would be great, and subscription if you haven't already. If you have, great. And just thanks for going along. See you next video.